shape of our head. We are going to be a close-up portrait, realistic close-up portrait of our head. All right, so what is the shape of our head? What is it? Just shout it out.
Circle.
A lot of times we say circle. It's really more of an oval. It's actually even more like an upside-down egg. If you think about an egg, it is more pointed up at the top and more round at the bottom. That's how our heads are. Our heads are more rounded at the top and more pointed because of our chins at the bottom. So we are going to be doing a lot of very, very light lines. I call them whisper lines that are so light you can barely see them. So light that you can erase them later and never know they were there. Okay, now I have to make them a little darker on my paper because you won't be able to see them if I don't. All right, but if I mention light whisper lines, that means super light. Now here's the other thing. We will not be erasing anything on our notes page. You'll understand more as I explain it. Because this is our notes page. So some of our lines that we draw that are guidelines, on a masterpiece we would erase them away. But today, we're going to leave them on our notes page so you can reference it later. Okay? So step one, we're going to determine where the top and the bottom of the face are going to be. So that's step one. Then you need to figure out approximately where the sides of the face are going to be. And again, these are light whisper lines. Okay, it's just to help me figure out, about how big will my upside down egg be. Then the top of the head is more like a rainbow line. It's a nice curve rainbow line. And then when you get down here to the bottom half of the head, this is where it comes in more to make that upside down egg so that it comes down to your chin. Okay, see that? See, that'd be a great egg if it was going the other way. Okay. All right, next, after you got that shape in, we're going to draw a line of symmetry. This line of symmetry is a whisper line lightly down the center of the face. This just helps you get it perfectly proportioned so everything is in the right spots. So I am going to write symmetry up here just to help me remember that line of symmetry. You don't see it on yours, but it's there. Okay. Next I'm going to find, if I take a look at this line of symmetry, and if I were to find the midway, the halfway point, I'm going to draw a whisper line going the opposite direction. Okay, and on the side, just because these are my notes, I'm going to write the 1/2 fraction to remember that I'm halfway down the line of symmetry. Now, does anybody know what feature of your face is on this line? Girls.
Your nose. Your nose.
You know what? Everybody says that. But it's not actually your nose. It's not actually your nose. Jude, what is it?
It's your eyes.
It's actually your eyes, guys. So if you were to be on the tippy top of your head, okay, and compare that with the bottom of your chin. I know it's hard for me to show you that today. But the top of your head is not the top of your forehead. It's up higher. The top of your head is up higher. So you actually have hair on that part of your head. Then you have your forehead. Then you have your eyebrows. Then you have your eyes. So your eyes are actually halfway down. Now here's the next thing. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Okay. We in focus? Now across your face is actually 5 eyes across. So if you were to divide this, you would divide it into 5 pieces. Now the way we're going to do it, we're not going to measure. We're just going to eye it. Okay, so right here in the middle, because it's 5, right here in the middle, we have, where these perpendicular lines meet, we have 1 imaginary cyclops eye. Then on either side of it, we have 2, the space for 2 eyes. Now you might not get the measurements quite right the first time or 2 or 3, and that's okay. Even mine are a little bit off, okay? But here's the thing. If you are drawing something and you can fit 12 eyes across, then you're making the eyes too small. If you try to draw and you can only fit 4 eyes across, well, you're drawing them too big. So I like to start with that cyclops eye right in the center, and then I find it easier to divide what's left over into 2. okay? So that's part of proportions, is understanding that you have 5 eyes across. Only 2 of them are actually there, but you have 5 eyes across. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how to get a nice detailed eye, and pretty quickly, okay? So we're going to start off with one of these eyes. So these are all whisper lines. These are supposed to be really, really light, so they're easy to erase, okay? But now, on the eye that's going to stay there, I'm going to press down a little harder. So I'm going to do a rainbow line and then a smile line, because our eyes are the shape of a football or a lemon, okay? Just do your best. This is our practice field. Got those in there? I want to make sure everybody's got 5 eyes across. Okay. All right, so the next step of the eye is we're going to add a second rainbow line. That represents what? William?
Your eyelid.
Your eyelid, exactly. Now, what's the name of the color in our eye? What's the name of that colored area of our eye? Yes?
Is that your iris?
That's your iris. Everybody say iris.
Iris.
Your iris. Then what's the black center called? Yes, the pupil. So the iris is actually a circle, but because we don't walk around with our eyes wide open all the time, our eyes kind of cover the top and bottom of that iris. So we're going to use parentheses. So we're going to do one side of the parenthesis over here, and then the other side of the parenthesis over here, and it looks like a lovely little iris. Okay, then right in the center, we will do the pupil. I leave a little bit of that pupil white to look like light is shining off of it. And then when you can lightly color in the iris, you want it to be like lines of a lion's mane or a sun that has a lot of sun rays coming off of it. That's how the iris color is. It's in all these little lines, okay? Then we're going to do that again over here. So we do the rainbow line and then the smile line. We do a second rainbow line for the eyelid. We draw parentheses for the iris. We draw a circle in the center for the pupil. We color in the pupil. We do those starburst lines, sunburst lines, lion mane lines, whatever you want to call them, for the iris, and we're done. Okay, so these eyes are imaginary. They're not there. They're just there to help us with proportions, okay, for measuring. Next, what is above our eyes? Emma Claire?
Our eyebrows.
Eyebrows. So over each eye, you're going to add your eyebrow. Now, everybody's eyebrows are a little bit different. So depending on who you're drawing, they might be thick, they might be thin, they might be curved, they might be straight. So as you draw a portrait of someone, you would pay attention to details like that to get their eyebrows correct. But it doesn't matter what the eyebrows look like this time around. Okay, now, last thing on our eyes, we're going to add eyelashes. Now, our eyelashes, both boys and girls, we have eyelashes that go all the way across our eye. We're not going to draw them because they're teeny tiny. Okay, so from a distance, I can't see all your teeny tiny eyelashes, but I see just a little bit of shading there to know that they're there. So the way we're going to do this, on the outside edges of the eyes, not inside here where the nose is going to be, on the outside edges, I'm going to come out and just add a couple little lashes just to show that I know that they are there. Just to give a little indication that yes, there are eyelashes on this person. This is a realistic portrait. Okay? Now, I'm going to take a look at this line of symmetry again. So in between the top and the bottom of that line, I found the halfway point on that line. Now on that line, I'm going to find where I'm 1/4 of the way up. I was going to make you figure that out. What is half of a half? What is the fraction? Shout it out. 1/4, yeah. So I'm going to draw that whisper line across. Wasn't quite straight, and that's all right. It's close enough. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and write 1/4 over here. Again, on a masterpiece, you would not write this information, and these would be super light lines, okay? This is just for our notes. Okay, now What goes on this line? Shout it out.
Nose.
The nose. Now, here's a fun fact. The bottom of your nose is the same width as one eye. So what we can do, we can go straight down from either side of this cyclops eye, or right from the inside of each eye, and come down to that line, and that's the width of the bottom of your nose. Now, here's the other thing. Your nose is not a shape stuck onto your face. Okay, your nose is bone and cartilage underneath your skin. So your skin kind of goes over top of it. So the way that we're gonna do our nose today is just one method of drawing a nose. There are lots of methods, but I want you to try this method out, okay? So where these lines meet perpendicular to the 1/4 line, we are gonna draw some parentheses again. Okay, draw those parentheses. Near the bottom of those parentheses, right here in the center, we're going to do a slight curve, okay? That slight curve shows the tip of the nose, but then on each side, we're going to do like a little loop to show the nostril, okay? Okay, then near the top of those lines, we're going to do a slight curve for the tip of the nose. And then we're going to bring some lines up on either side to just show how the nose gets more narrow as it goes up. Now again, it's not a shape stuck on your face. All right, so you're going to be doing more with shadow and shading than anything to show off the nose, okay? That is one way to draw a nose. Now, let's go ahead and measure from the 1/4 line down to the bottom. We're dividing that in half. What is that measurement? What is that measurement? Shout it out. 1/8. 1/8. Okay, if you have a 1/4 and you divide it in half, that's 1/8. Jot that down. Okay, so we're just taking this one line and dividing it, okay? All right, now this is generally where the mouth will be. The mouth will be a little above this line, okay? So I'm going to start off a little above this line. I'm going to do a little teeny tiny dip. It looks like a teeny tiny smile. Itty bitty. Okay. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need to go from the pupil down to the 1/8 line. I know. So sad. Okay, now I'm going to, on either side of that little teeny tiny smile dip line, I'm going to bring a line out to the side. Okay? Then I'm going to go right above that little dip, and I'm going to do another little dip. Okay? I am forming the top lip. So then I'll come down and I'll meet. Come down and I'll meet. I'm forming the top lip. Okay, and some people's lips are thicker or thinner. You know, it all depends on your person. But this same technique applies. Okay, then down here, I'm going to draw a little line. And I'm going to go up. And up. Okay? To create the lips. Now, again, lips also are something that need to be shaded in and everything. But that's just the basics. We also, at this point, could also look at, okay, really forming the face shape to match whoever you're drawing. They might have more of a square chin. They might have sort of a shaded line right underneath their mouth, okay? So we're going to be thinking about all those little details, okay, along the way, all right? Now I'm going to zoom back out again, okay? So our realistic portrait is coming along. But look, we have our 1/2 line and our 1/4 line already here. Guess what? Your ears go from about the 1/2 line to the 1/4 line. It's amazing. So your ears are longer than you realize, okay? But they also are just at a slight angle out of your face, okay? So they don't stick out like an elephant ear. They're just at a slight angle, okay? So you can add ears on both sides going from about the 1/4 to to the 1/2, or the 1/2 to the 1/4. Okay? And add your ears in. Then you have your neck. Now your neck is also much thicker than you realize. Your neck starts at about this 1/8 line. So we bring that out and bring that out, okay? So that's why, another reason why these lines are important. We use them lots of times. And then we need shoulders. Guys, you could fit another head on each of your shoulders. We tend to make the shoulders really small because we're used to seeing cartoons, but cartoons aren't always drawn realistically. My shoulders would run right off this page. Okay, so it's important to realize when you're drawing realistically, you really have to look and understand proportions, and it will help you. Okay, on your neck, you could always have a little bit of shading, under your chin, a little bit of shading, on the side of your cheeks, a little bit of shading. Okay, your face is not flat like a pancake. There's a lot of highlights and shadows, just like a landscape where you have all these hills and valleys. Okay, your face is like a landscape across your face. Okay, it goes up and down and up and down. Okay, next, hair. Now, we've already mentioned this a little bit, but does your hair start way up here? No, we have hair below that line. In addition, touch your head right above your ears.
Hair.
There is hair there. There's hair there. We have a tendency when we're younger to just make hair start out of the top of the head and it kind of sits on the top like a hat. Okay? We have a lot of hair on our heads. So, and it's in all different styles. So look at me. Can I see your eyes? We make drawings out of lines. Hair is literally lines. It's all made out of lines. So whenever you're drawing, you've got to look at the person and look at what direction the lines are going. And that's exactly how you will draw them. All right, so I'm bringing these lines down and across. So I'm making the part on this person about here and swooping it across like behind their ear. I also went above the egg line because hair does have some thickness to it. So again, the hairstyle will vary depending on the person. Okay, but I'm making it behind their ear. Remember, hair goes behind your neck as well, and I'm making it a little darker back there. This person is going to have their hair go over their shoulder. And then I'm going to come back over on this side and do the same thing. Now, hairstyles are all very different. But if you keep in mind, oh, I need to look at the way the lines in the hair are going so I know the direction to make the lines on my drawing, it will be more successful. Okay? It would not make sense to come in here and start doing lines this direction because the hair doesn't grow that direction. So that's why it's so important to really look at what you're drawing, get some good observation in, and then follow the direction of the lines. Now, this is just a basic portrait example with notes. To understand proportion. Okay, so eyes on the half, bottom of the nose on the fourth. The bottom of the nose is the width of an eye, 5 eyes across. Mouth is just a little above the 1/8. Got ears from the 1/2 to the 1/4. Our hair goes below that upside down egg and above. It goes over our ears. We can add more shading in, post all of the basic proportions, and it will make a much more successful, realistic portrait. Oh, our neck starts at the 1/8. We have shoulders. You could fit another head on each of these shoulders. All right? Let me pause.